Hey everyone, my name's Sam Nakanishi. Um, I am here to tell you today about a new martial arts curriculum that I've been putting together. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to be creating a style, and I'm at this point really not looking at opening up a school or anything, but I had several people ask me to teach them martial arts or techniques or self defense, stuff like that. So I actually run a YouTube channel called Self Defense 360, um, and I'll be posting this on there. And uh, so I wanted to kind of tell you guys the philosophy and why I created this and everything. If it ever becomes something, I think I'll call it Nakanishi Do, which Nakanishi being my name and Do meaning way in Japanese, plus me having a Japanese heritage should just be my way. Um, so the this all kind of came to be because I started teaching my girlfriend's daughter, who's 12, martial arts. And in order for me to teach, I needed something structured. I needed something to go off of and build on instead of just jumping in and, you know, trying to teach her what I know. Um, Throughout the years, as I've tried to teach people stuff, like my mom will come to me or someone will come to me and be like, hey, what do I do if this happens? What if I do if someone has a bat or a gun or a knife or, I don't know, ninjas come out and they got samurai swords, etc. And so I'd think about it and either teach them a technique or no, or how I would defend myself. And it would become really frustrating because I quickly realized that people who aren't martial artists don't really know how to manipulate their bodies, how to move. Um, and it's really not a natural thing to learn. When you learn martial arts, you're learning to use your body in a completely kind of foreign way. So I could teach you a very simple technique, um, but it wouldn't be right because you didn't know how to put your feet, you didn't know how to move your hips, you didn't know how to move the other person's hips, manipulate their body weight, or something like that. So things that I think are really easy after 17 years of martial arts, having competed and etc., um, are really difficult. So when I created this curriculum, it was designed to um, introduce different ways of movement, different ways to stand, to uh, fight, to move your body, as well as technique. So it's not designed to be like a get you in the ring in 6 months and have you be an MMA fighter, or you take a self-defense class on Saturdays, and after a month you can defend yourself against ninjas and burglars attacking you in the parking lot at the same time. That's not what it's for. But it is supposed to be a combat art. Um, Now, quick moment of humility here. I don't consider myself to be a great grandmaster martial artist. There's stuff that I'm good at. There's stuff that I still am learning and refining. Like, I'm not a great jujitsu artist, but I can defend myself well against jujitsu artists. Um, I'm not the best boxer in the world, but I can box. I can hold my own. But I know that I'm effective in a self-defense situation because I've had to do it, unfortunately, a couple times. And I did compete. Now, I wasn't a great UFC champion competitor, but my technique was tight, and I've really grown since then. So these are things that I kind of learned throughout my martial arts journey. And when I started, especially when I started competing in mixed martial arts, there wasn't a lot of mixed martial arts gyms. There was a few, but they had a reputation for being like really brutal, not like mean brutal, but they trained really hard. And this was probably over 10 years ago. So when I learned MMA, I didn't go and learn MMA. I was at one school. I learned primarily Muay Thai and Taekwondo. Then I learned traditional boxing from another school. I learned jiu-jitsu somewhere else. After I hurt my back and retired from competing, I moved on and I learned Wing Chun and Kung Tao and took a lot away from those styles, which were soft styles. And so I've kind of been combining these because what I learned is if you're able to adapt to different ways of moving, then you become a more effective martial artist. So in the beginning, that's what it's focused on. And then as you move through, you learn to put the techniques I teach together, the skills together, the movements together, and transition quickly between them in order to, confront any eventuality, any situation you might end up in, and even if you wanted to compete. Another philosophy I had is because I am not a dedicated martial art and I am not some great grandmaster, it was supposed to be so that you could take the techniques, the stances, everything that you learn here, and find your own martial arts path. If you were really into grappling, then you could go to a jiu-jitsu gym and you wouldn't be completely lost. If you wanted to wrestle, you could go wrestle. You wouldn't be completely lost. If you wanted to go take karate or taekwondo or kali or kendo, or Wing Chun because you liked those, or Kung Tao or Sanshou. I didn't take Sanshou, but I realized that Kung Tao is very similar in a lot of respects. Then you could go off to that dedicated martial art that really suited you and not be a complete novice. You would pick it up a lot more quickly. You might even go in there as with the skill level of a middle or high rank. Now, quick background for me is I have a black belt in Taekwondo, first dan. I have something similar in Kung Tao. I'm ranked in various other martial arts. I'm not a super strong jiu-jitsu artist, but I would say I would put myself at a low blue belt skill level, and I have been training Brazilian jiu-jitsu since, or going forward. So I will become a stronger jiu-jitsu artist through this journey. I took kendo for 3 years, Muay Thai for 7, along with Taekwondo, Wing Chun Kung Tao for 4 years. So everything I've done, I've had a decent amount of experience in. I'm not a master in any of these, but again, that wasn't the point. So I hope you like what you see. I realize that there's going to be a lot of martial artists that are going to have some hate or critiques over this. I've already gotten a lot from some of the BJJ crowd over the curriculum not teaching a lot of the basics of BJJ. Remember, this is still in beta test. I will be refining things. I think I've only got through level 4 even outlined. And it's going to go up to level 10 because I kind of want to white through black 10 rank like I grew up with. And then it should take any of my students probably 3 to 5 years to reach level 10. Because that was the time frame that was common for me when I first started in martial arts, and a lot of martial arts have that similar time frame. So I hope you guys like what you see. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, message me. You can find me on Facebook, on my self-defense channel. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. Let me know what you think. And next video, I'm going to just be going over a quick introduction to my level 1, which is about the only thing that's like 100% complete. It's where I like it.